Hello everyone, and today's video is going to be about baby mamas versus widows. Baby mamas are the ones that just have kids out of wedlock. They're not married, they do things, they ain't do it the right way. They, but look at the benefits though, right? They got housing, right? Food stamps, you know. So the government pretty much take care of them. The only qualification is you have to be against the man, right? The man can't be involved. So you can have the government, you can pay cheap rent, have free food, as long as the man is not involved. You put him on child support, right? Now some men may deserve it, depends, right? But you pretty much you have to be against the man, right? So it's not helping build their families. It making women feel like they don't need a man or they're independent, even though the government is their man that take care of them. So they do things the wrong way. They do things the wrong way, but reap benefits, right? Some of your sisters so trifling that kids are bargaining themselves. You say, well, I can just get pregnant real quick. I'm gonna be taken care of, so there's no consequences, right? The government, in my opinion, the government should put consequences to depend on how many kids you have. Like, if you can go up there and lay up and just have kids, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like, to me, the cutoff limit should at least be like 2 kids, right? 2 kids, you should only have 2 kids by the same father. If you have a second kid by a different man, you shouldn't even. Well, I guess that could be kind of problematic, but you get what I'm saying, right? If you are willing to lay up with men, right, that you are not willing to work with, and if he's not husband material, you're making bad decisions on men, you shouldn't deserve the support that you get, because you ain't even trying to marry. You just having kids out of wedlock left and right, and you deserve, and you getting spoiled by getting all this help. Like, it should be the government should put consequences, limitations, so therefore it give the woman to think twice on who they should have kids by, right? Women should be wise not to have kids by anybody. But the reason why they can't think that way, because they're gonna be taken care of at the end of the day. So women's not gonna say, "Damn, man, I need to figure out who I'm gonna have kids by. I don't want to have kids by anybody." But it doesn't matter, because guess what? The government gonna take care of you. The government need to put consequences on your actions, man. They shouldn't always support you, especially if you keep having more kids, right? Especially if you ain't trying to go out there and better yourself. I don't think it's fair. Especially to the next thing I'm gonna talk about, the widows. Now look at the widows, right? The widows done everything right. They get married. Some have kids, right? Some doesn't. The only thing that all widows have in common is their husbands died. And death happened to us all. We don't, nobody know when they time to bite the dust, right? So they end up, gone from this world. Some that is out of their control. Now some are blessed enough where their man worked all his life. He built up a good pension. So some widows are able to survive off the man's pension, right? And then the amount may vary, depends on how long he worked, or how much he made or whatever. I don't know the whole details based on career wise, but usually they get a pension. They're able to survive off that, but they will not get no other assistance. They can't get food stamps and they can't get housing. They pretty much got to rely on that income. Now they may decide. Now some might be able to work another job. I'm pretty sure there are probably limitations to that. They probably can't work a high-paying job or something, right? They probably still, they probably can't work like they would like to combine the income. But they, like I said, they can't get no benefits from the government other than that. You got some widows. Unfortunately, you might have young widows that are married, but their husband may have died young. Let's say he was, they got married, both couples were like in their 20s, right? Let's say, he only worked for like 2 years or whatever. He didn't work very long, and he happened to pass on. He didn't build enough pension so that woman can live off of. So now she have to, and her kids, it can be hard for her. Depends on how old her kids may be. So they don't get assistance either. Not, if they, like I said, if their husband was young and he didn't work long enough, she have to struggle now, and she might have to get a regular job and somehow raise either babies or teenagers. Either way, it's gonna be harder. They don't get the benefits like baby mamas, right? The government should help widows more than they should help baby mamas who didn't do it right. They should put limitations on baby mamas and help more widows, especially the widows who couldn't get a pension because their man just happened to die too young to build it up. So I think widows I think the government, if they really want, they should help the widows, the ones that done it right and done it the right way, instead of helping the ones that just being trifling and just having babies. Because you allow these sisters to not have accountability. Y'all make it seem like it's the man's fault that he's not a provider, but you ain't giving a woman accountability of just open her legs to any old man either, though. That's the only thing I hate about the baby mamas, right? They get help from the government. Some of y'all baby mamas so trifling that you would keep the baby father away from the child, right? And all this madness. At least widows, they married right, and they reap rewards. So that's something to think about, man. It's like, it seems like it's more rewarding being a dang baby mama, right? Being irresponsible of your, who you sleep with in your body versus the ones that's done it correctly, right? Happily married or whatever the case may be. They some get lucky to get a pension, some don't, but they still have to struggle like everybody else. Versus the baby mama, they don't have to work or nothing, right? They can just sit back and allow the government to take care of them. So they need to change the laws with widows and baby mom. Widows should get help. Now some people might say, well, but they married though. They get pension. Like I said, some don't get pensions, right? What about those? But that still, don't mean that baby mama should be helped like that either. No. If you give baby mama consequences, maybe they'll think twice who they have kids by, and maybe they will look for men that want to marry them instead, so they can get the benefits. But I don't want to sound like a broken record repeating myself. So, what do y'all think about this topic? Do you think it's fair that that baby mamas get all those benefits and the widows is pretty much discarded and not looked after, right? They should be looked after more than the baby mamas. So what do you think? You agree, disagree? You want to chat to me about it on a live one day, or put in the comment section. I'm curious to what you think about the situation. Alright? See you in the next video.